Bob and I have made really good progress on the teardown of Dinghy 1 Kenobi so far. With the wiring removed and the cabin and roof gone, next up was removing the motor and the pod. This should be an easy job. The plan is to remove any remaining gas or oil lines that run to the main engine. And next, we remove the engine cover to find a secure anchoring point. This beast weighs about 560 pounds, so we need to support the motor so that when we unbolt it from the pod, it doesn't fall and hurt someone, like Bob. I was excited to try out my newfound talent as a tractor driver. Bob? Not so much. I think he still has reservations.
Getting this bad boy up. We're taking the motor off today.
While I practiced a little in the tractor, he fashioned a harness with a short piece of chain and attached it to the motor mount at the top of the flywheel. I moved the tractor roughly into place, while Bob slid the forks into position. Then, we wrapped the chain around the forks, and I slowly took up the slack with the hydraulics. I was definitely starting to feel a little more comfortable behind the controls, but I knew this job would require a very steady hand on the hydraulics. And this tractor, it was jumpy at the best of times, kind of like Bob. With the engine supported, Bob could partially loosen the nuts so that they wouldn't bind and would be faster to remove later.
Okay guys, this is it. We are just removing the engine. We are on the final step. Dinghy 1 Kenobi is back to a hull and pontoons. There's almost nothing left. Next up, pod removal. We're gonna take the whole pod off because we're thinking of replacing it.
Now it's my turn, and I need to inch the forks up to completely take the weight of the engine, while Bob spins off the remaining nuts. After a little back and forth and a lot more cursing, Bob and I were able to safely lower the motor onto a pallet.
Wasn't too bad?
No, just not having the right tools.
Yeah, that's right.
The right lifting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got the motor off the dinghy. We're just gonna put it inside and then park the tractor. I've got the pallet. I'm just gonna leave the pallet on the floor in front of the tractor and then we'll just park it there at night. So hopefully this goes smooth. I almost hit the side of the building a minute ago. Okay, down we go. Okay, nice and smooth, Darryl. Look at the talent that is happening with this forklift. It's unbelievable. And that's a wrap. Well, that was fun.
Now it was onto the pod.
Pod's coming off next, so we're gonna go in the inside of the transom and unbolt like 12 bolts holding it on.
Wow, there's more than that.
Okay, like 20.
While not as heavy as the main engine, the pod is still a sizable chunk of metal. So we thought the same approach should work just fine. Job 1 was to remove the 20+ bolts that held the pod to the transom. This turned out to be a very difficult task. Most of the nuts and bolts were corroded, so this meant getting a good purchase on the nuts was almost impossible. Then we discovered that each bolt had been caulked with Sikaflex. Sikaflex is a marine silicone glue type of compound. It's an amazing product, but it is almost impossible to remove. This took a lot of elbow grease and turned into an all-day job to get these bolts out. This gave us both time to realize that the pod itself was probably fixed to the transom with Sikaflex. Eventually, all of the bolts were removed, but still, the pod remained solidly adhered to the transom. I immediately thought of using brute force with the help of my new friend, not Bob, the tractor. We rigged up a similar harness and gave it a shot. I bounced, peeled, and lifted the pod. Nothing worked. It was absolutely stuck to the transom. Next, we tried a few ways of prying it off. We tried a crowbar, screwdrivers, and even a giant Burke bar. Nothing worked. I was actually beginning to think that I might have to live with it.
What do you think?
It's going okay, but not so good.
Then I had a brilliant idea. Well, my friend Russ had a brilliant idea. First, we got a bottle jack and laid it on its side, using 2 pieces of wood to help distribute the load on the transom. We slowly used the jack to apply consistent pressure from the pod to the transom.
So we have to get this transom off, but it is fully silicone. So we have a bottle jack in between the transom and the pod, and we're just pushing, and all the Sikaflex is slowly cracking as it's coming off. So right in here, we've got our bottle jack, and the gap is slowly opening. It's just peeling back. Okay, we have the silicone coming off in the middle of the pod, so it's slowly just getting pulled off the transom. You can hear it, it's still pulling, eh?
Yeah, it's not part of the dust yet. It's good.
Yeah. The boat's orange inside because it used to be a Canadian Coast Guard boat, so that's why the back transom is still orange underneath. Got it? Do you think we can grab it, Bob? Grab the other side. Nice. I should just get the forklift, right? And just...
What started off to be a very simple task turned into a very difficult challenge. We are more than relieved to be finished this part of the rebuild. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I look forward to having you join me on my next episode of Do It with Darryl.